Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, guys. It's Monday, Columbus Day. So usually Columbus Day is pretty quiet. It's like, it's a market holiday, or I think it's a bank holiday, something like that. But like most people don't get it off. So it's kind of a weird one, right? But, you know, let's come over to the charts, because for what seems like, how many days is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to say almost 7 sessions in a row now here. We are starting out the session on the back foot with the treasuries pushing down. Here you got the S&P 500. They extended on Friday, looking pretty good there. That looked okay there. And then we got oil. Oil on the bucket. So the market wants to have like stimulus from China every day, and when they don't get it, it's like, you know, they're mad. And so that's kind of what's going on there. China numbers not so good, and the comments from officials not so good, and so demand from China is projected to be less. Gold and silver doing okay though, but I bet you copper's not so hot. Yeah, copper, well, it's not too bad, but yeah, copper not as hot because of China there. The Japanese yen, whew, I tell you what, man, that chart, well, it's kind of hard to see it now. You really got to zoom out on this one, but this doesn't look very good. But it's not like it's like down big overnight or anything like that. But yeah, the 6J don't look so good to me. Bitcoin, well, it's looking pretty good. So after dipping back to that 60K, they have extended and gotten even higher. Not as high as that 6,700, of course, but even higher. So Bitcoin is maybe actually starting to do something a little bit interesting, I think. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So when I came in here to start the stream today, and I'm looking at my Spotify home screen, it was recommending Barney Sing Along. Like, what? Okay, that's kind of weird. Anyways, and good morning, and Steffa. So I have a video coming out. So first thing I saw here is will comment on my video like, oh, how come you stopped making videos? I'm still making videos. I've just been lazy. Who is Barney? You know, like the purple dinosaur? Don't know. Maybe it's an American thing. You're not from the United States, right? Yeah. It's a children's show with a purple dinosaur that comes from the children's imagination, I think. But yeah, it's just like, why is Spotify recommending that to me? It's so weird, right? All right, let's poke around a little bit. Well, the top story on Zero Hedge is liberals are losing their minds over Elon Musk. Of course they are. Of course they are. You know, I find so interesting with Elon Musk. I mean, there was definitely a turn when there was the whole, like, there were kids like stuck in a cave or something like that, and they had the divers and everything, and then Elon called the diver like a kitty. You know, there's that whole thing, right? And everybody sided with the diver, and that was kind of when people started to shift. But then as Reddit figured out that Elon Musk is conservative, or at least his politics are conservative right now, they started to turn on him super hard. But I look back on it and it's like, well, Hollywood knew. Hollywood knew that, like, that he was going to parties with them. They all knew who he was, and they knew that he kind of, even though he himself maybe didn't realize it and thought that he was left wing, they kind of all realized that maybe there was a right wing tilt to the guy. Because all of the stories, all of the movies that I see over the past, like, 10 years, it seems to me like Elon Musk is the bad guy in them. Like, these bad guys all seem to be copying Elon Musk. So it doesn't surprise me in the least bit that liberals are, quote unquote, losing their minds over Elon Musk, because they've literally been conditioned by media for over a decade to hate him. Anyways. Not a whole lot over there on Reddit, though. Or on Zero Hedge. Let's check Reddit. Okay, so another thing going on is that there was a guy who was stopped at the checkpoint around Trump rally in California. Some people were saying that it was an attempted assassination, but we don't really know that. It could have just been a stupid guy carrying illegal weapons. So Reddit is trying to say that it was not an assassination attempt. And the guy was like a super libertarian. That's the other thing. So, good morning, Uzi. Okay. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's Columbus Day. I'm thinking it's going to be a slow start to the week. I was going to release my new video today, but I don't think I actually exported it. I totally forgot about it on Sunday. Because we went and saw the meteor. Hey, you got a chance. You kind of have to get out where it's pretty dark. You kind of have to go out where it's pretty dark. But the comet, a pretty good looking comet. It's a pretty decent one. It's not like comet of the century or anything. It's a pretty good comet. We did that yesterday. I didn't export it, but I think I'll put it out tomorrow because today's gonna be quiet anyways. Yeah, you know, you woke up thinking the markets would be closed. Well, you know, it's like all of those other kind of weirdo holidays, right? Where the markets technically are closed, but like the futures are still up and running, right? Like there's two of them. What's the other one? I think the other one is Martin Luther King Day, right? Where it's like it's a federal holiday, but nobody else gets it off for some bizarre reason. Why is that? Why do we have these holidays where it's a federal holiday, but then other businesses don't choose to make it a holiday? What's with that? Then there's the really weird one, which is Easter Sunday, which is like a stock market holiday only, and basically nobody else gets it off. It's not a government holiday. Anyways. Bank holiday. Are the schools out? No, I think my kids still have school today. Amir, have a nice week. Thank you. Mail won't run, but all the markets are open. Yeah. Oh, yours are... Oh, you mean like your school is... You're probably on fall break. Because our kids have fall break this week, but not until Thursday. They get like Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Yeah, teacher comp day. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And see, that's Monday for us. That's next Monday. Like, they get fall break Thursday, Friday, and then next Monday is teacher comp day. Oh, this should be interesting. Backtest results for Larry Connor's double 7 strategy. Read this. I tested the double 7 strategy popularized by Larry Connors in the book Short-Term Trading Strategies That Work. It's a pretty simple strategy with very few rules. The setup steps are: price closes above a 200-day moving average, price closes. Oh, it's above a 7-day moving average, but it's a 7-day low. If the conditions are met, the strategy enters on the close. However, for my backtest, I am entering at the open of the next day. Exit if the price closes at a 7-day high. This is not a short-term trading strategy. This is a swing. Okay, whatever. They consider swing strategy short-term. Okay, this might work. All right. I ran over Python over 34 years. Ooh, man, you've got data, boy. 34 years of S&P 500 data. Okay. To check for robustness, I tested a range of different look-back periods from 2 to 10 and found the annual return is relatively consistent, but the drawdown varies a lot. I believe this was because it doesn't have a stop loss, and when I tested it with 8-day periods instead of 7 days for entry and exit, I had a similar return, but the drawdown was 2.5 times as big. Oh, okay, that actually kind of is a big... That might be telling you that there is something to that strategy, or like maybe other people are using it. Then you tried some stop losses. Well, I can't really make sense of the results without, you know, like a comparison to the index and like Sharpe ratio. But this is not a day trading strategy. I got all excited. Cool, but not a... Oh, Sharpe ratio has to be capitalized, apparently. know there could be a bit mixed with the hurricane for that, like they use the schools for shelters and stuff. Let's see here, and stuff. I should now be very easy to build systems with NinjaTrader because of ChatGPT. I wish. But the code that ChatGPT is going to spit out to you isn't going to work most of the time. Okay, I saw your old video, SMC busted. Do you have backtests, the order book, like supply and demand type stuff that will make it too long? Well, okay, so you're talking about two totally separate things, Nancy. Because supply and demand are basically just like, oh, it turned around there multiple times in the past, so we think that it will continue to turn around there. Okay, what most retail traders think is supply and demand are actually just ranges created by arbitrage between closely related instruments. Once, so the thing that will always happen is this is kind of like, this happens in a market when there's not really anything else going on. And then, you think that it's going to bounce again. You think it's going to bounce again, but now it's the regular session and people are selling that day. And so you come and buy it here and then it goes zoop. Right. That's what screws you over on that. And some of people think, because there's this explanation, so the reason that's kind of relevant is because a lot of people think, oh, if there's supply and demand here, then when we get down here in the order book, I should see big orders down here and stacking and absorption, right? And then the same thing on this side, I should see big offers and stacking and absorption up here, and that's what keeps it within that range. But I think that you will find that most of the time when it does that sort of a thing, it will like come up to it and it will just kind of be like, nobody really wants to hit into it. And so it will decide to turn around the other way. And that there's not actually like really aggressive absorption or anything like that against it. That's just like a key thing to know. Because if you do come up to an area like that and there's really strong absorption, then it's like a different situation. And oftentimes those actually continue because it's like, yeah, there's really strong absorption, but the buyers are still buying through it, and the market orders tend to win. So you got to be careful with that whole kind of setup, okay? But to the real question that you asked, I have been saving all of my order book data. So every message that comes through NinjaTrader here, I save it to disk. And that would allow me to reconstruct the book after the fact and do some backtesting and so forth. But I haven't gotten around to it. So, and I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. So I think I got a couple of videos to come. Oh, that's right. You do right here. So I've got, oh, this one should be down here. So I got the videos coming out tomorrow, and then the next ones are going to be some order flow misconceptions, which I think I am actually going to split out into 2 or 3 videos. Then I got one about intuition and then prop firms. And I should have them all written before the end of the week. And that way, if anything happens, aka I get a job, then I'll still be ready to record all of those and put them together. And then once I've gotten those out of the way, then I'm probably going to start on that project. I'm probably going to start on something that reconstructs the book and a couple of our indicators and so forth in Python, so that I can run some sort of machine learning algorithm on it. Now you got to be careful, because machine learning is, kind of relies on normal distributions, and like there's some real issues with it for trading. But I know that there's stuff that can help us there, and I haven't ever really been able to dig down deep into it. So get it to the point where we can do that and see what we got. Yeah, I also want to talk about that ICT fake guru got caught by Iman trading and I am learning order flow. I don't know who I am learning order flow is. He worked at Barclay? Oh, that's interesting. What did he do for Barclay though? But yeah, I mean, you know, like I appreciated the videos that Iman made where he basically showed everybody how crazy this guy was. But the thing that bothered me about it was the thing that bothers me about Iman's videos is that what he's basically doing is he's saying ICT is a fraud, but his trading methods generally work. That's kind of because what Iman is supposedly doing is quote unquote price action strategies. So and that's really all ICT is. He's just rebranded certain price action trading strategies, right? That's why I made that video to show you the strategy itself really doesn't work. Like, I don't care about who the guy is. Like, he could be doing and saying all sorts of crazy things. And generally speaking, if they're saying crazy things, they're not profitable, right? But you never know. Let's look at the actual strategy. The actual strategy doesn't work, right? But the even more interesting thing about that one was that we kind of had some evidence that a YouTube channel promoting a strategy kind of helps the strategy a little bit up to a point until it gets too big, and then it just completely blows up and stops working. That was the most interesting part of that one. So kind of a larger warning about following popular people on YouTube, right? It was kind of a takedown of all gurus, right? Because I don't come out and tell you, here's a strategy, just trade this strategy, right? Nah, I'm trying to show you the things about the market that we know and that we know matter so that you can develop your own strategy. But I'm not giving you a strategy because I know that if I just gave you a strategy or I just said, here's my strategy and here's exactly how to do it and everybody did it, then that would happen. It would stop working, right? Also called as Nirav Vedera. I don't know. He works as an institution trader. It's got to be more specific than that. Well, first of all, I'm really skeptical that anybody could have been a institutional trader of sorts that would then go and make a YouTube video and tell you stuff on the YouTube video. I think that would go poorly for you. Like, there are some things that, you know, at Goldman Sachs that if I went and told the internet, it would be a super big deal, right? Like, let's explain about fundamental basics and then the technical side. Well, that kind of sounds more like stocks, though. Like, the thing that's so interesting about technicals, like, this is the problem though, like, we're in the space that we kind of sit because we're day trading, right? Well, so a lot of people think, okay, there's fundamentals and technicals, but since we're day trading, you kind of have to rely on technicals. But everything that I've seen kind of suggests that technicals don't work on very short time frames. Like, there is momentum. Momentum is the thing. And all of the strategies that I've ever seen that are like swing strategies that appear to be profitable appear to me to be some sort of swing strategy. Like the one that we were just going through. That was a swing momentum strategy. It was basically like, okay, well, we're above the 200, so we're having momentum up, but we have had a reasonable pullback. So it's trying to catch, like, okay, we're coming up and it's really coming up, and there's like, here's the 200-day moving average, okay, and we've come back. We want to catch this next leg, right? And then we want to hold it as long as it continues going up, right? It's momentum. It's taking advantage of momentum. It's not a day trading strategy, though. So I keep seeing a lot of this stuff where it's like people are talking about things that are useful and like even are profitable. They don't realize that they were swing strategies and aren't really applicable to us on the daytime period. Like all this stuff from like the turtle traders, for instance. Turtle traders is always the one that people say, well, the turtle traders prove all of these things. Well, one thing that was interesting about the turtle traders was that they gave the strategy to a bunch of people, and a large number of them were not able to be successful with it. And for the turtle trading strategy, that totally makes sense because most of the trades don't work out. And the ones that do work out, you kind of have to hold. And the market's going to give you every reason to, be skeptical of that trade and get, scare you out. So the people that aren't able to stick with it, and most people aren't, they're not going to be successful with this strategy, right? But it was a string strategy, it's not a day trading strategy. So it's like even from the mental game aspect of it, it's kind of a different game, right? So there's like one thing to come in here and look at a trade and like you enter and it's moving against you and you think that it's going to come out, and I don't know, should you just, it's going against you, just get out? A lot of the time I do, it's like, I really need to be seeing the flows going my way. And if it's not going my way, then why am I in the trade? Because like, I'm only want to be in it for like the next 30 minutes. And if, it's been 30 minutes and I'm not getting that flow, then it's not a good trade, right? Okay. But like, maybe you really, really believe in it and you hold it for 30 minutes, whatever the deal is, right? That's completely different from holding something that's going against you and you're losing big time on it for months, right? That's a totally different thing. That's like hey, especially if you're like a fund manager, right? Hey, this is like my whole life. If this trade doesn't turn around and actually turn out for me, then the fund might just be down for the year. And like hedge funds don't have second unprofitable years, right? Like after 2 years, the people don't want to be in that strategy anymore and they won't give you money. And then that's the end of you in the industry. And what are you going to do after that? Right? It's a completely different level, man. It's a completely different level. And all of these things like the Mark Douglas and all, that's what they were talking about. Day trading, completely different game. Yeah, because today is a bank holiday, do you normally take less trades because of low volume? Yeah. So you got to be kind of, if you're going to be here and you're watching it on a holiday, then you might as well try and be aware. Because if some sort of a headline were to come out, if something pertinent happened and the market's moved, you probably get a really massive move because there's just like not as much liquidity and everything, right? So you do want to be aware, but generally speaking, it's going to be super, super low volume. You're not going to have a whole lot of opportunity. If you do get a trade, it's going to be one of those sorts of mean reversion market making trades where, seems like we're going to break it down to the downside here and we're at the lows and then, it'll flip back up. For no reason at all, other than that the market makers have too much inventory. Their DOM analysis, well, and it is, well, who are we talking about again? You're talking about, what was their name? Oh, you got it. You retracted the message. I can't remember the guy's name now. What was it? Oh, G7FX. Maybe I have seen that before. Who let the dogs out? The dog scratching on my door. You know that's a really great way to just get put outside and not let back in, right, dog? Stop. I don't know. From what you're telling me already, he is, well, okay. I used to be Forex and futures trader. Here's another thing is that I'm always super skeptical. Oh, you know, I forgot to turn my speakers off. When I come to a social media channel and they're in the finance industry and they're trying to pull out their credentials and like their whole popularity is based on credentials, I'm immediately skeptical. Hold on a second. I'm going to take care of this dog. Right, let's, oh wait, hold on. I forgot to turn the light back on. What are you talking about? So these are the limit orders. These are the limit orders. These are the market orders. And if you go and you watch our order flow video series, we talk about, explain what you're looking at, and we explain some of the empirical properties of it. I've never heard anybody else on YouTube talking about that stuff. Eventually it's going to happen. But I've never. Oh boy. Dude, I am not impressed with this. You know what I think? I think that you're somebody shilling specifically for this influencer. Okay, so the number one best trading strategy, I'm immediately, you're a shit. I don't believe a thing this guy says now. The first thing that is such a clickbaity, oh, this is the best strategy ever sort of a thing. Oh yeah, and by the way, he has like a picture of on a chart there and everything. He's full of shit. Just like that immediately, he's probably full of shit. I have to say. Oh, it works well. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, there you go. How to trade the FOMC. That's great. I don't even see anything talking about order flow. It's actually kind of funny. Like, he is clickbaiting hard. His channel isn't that big. I mean, he's bigger than ours, of course. But he's only 50K. Should we say 50K is big or not? I don't know, like, let's take, for example, like Matt. What's Matt at now? Oh, he is at 215,000. Okay, he's probably a bad example. Did he have one that said I cracked the code? Where was that? I didn't see that. I cracked the code. Yep, there you go. Oh my gosh. I seriously, I think this guy is full of shit. because like here's the thing, is like you're showing charts and things like institutional traders don't really use this. Not I mean, they'll have a chart, but like they don't use it the same way that retail. I think that retail traders think that like, okay, these institutional guys, they have a chart up and there's some sort of super secret advanced pattern that they're looking for on the chart, and that's when they trade and everything. No, like when you're trading at a bank like Barclays, you're doing arbitrage, you're executing for other people, like it's not even the same game, right? You should take it. Now, so man, you really haven't been on this channel for very long, have you? like here's the thing. Here's how they will mess with you, right? Wait, where's my Okay, here's how they mess with you. All right, number one, they will use what is the word that I'm looking for? Where you try and they'll try and credentialize themselves. Right. So basically the number one bias of humans is that they look at other people. So like we are social learners. So if you want to learn a trade, for instance, what do? You go and you find the person that's the best at that trade, and then you go and you copy them and you do what they're doing, right? Which doesn't work in trading because a strategy gets too popular, it stops working, right? So what happens is that people will come in and they will try and prove to you that they have credentials, that they are great at this thing. You should listen to them because they were an institutional trader or whatever. One that I've seen a lot is, oh, you should listen to me because I worked at a bank and I have all of the certifications. Okay, like you've got a Series 7 or a Series 65. They don't teach you shit in those. Like that is things to like keep you in line with the law. But in terms of like giving you edge, there's nothing in it, right? It's the number one thing that they'll kind of do, right? And then the number two thing that they will do is clickbait. I made so much money. This strategy really works. It's super simple. Yeah, that's the number three thing is that they'll do is it's easy. So say it's easy, right? Super easy, right? And these are the things that people use on YouTube to sucker people into watching their YouTube channel. And like the thing is that the audience isn't very sophisticated, right? First of all, like most people lack the ability to go in and look at strategies like that and back test them, quote unquote, like do a real empirical back test on them to find out whether or not the strategy actually performs the way that they think, right? So they can say pretty much anything that they want. Again, this was my complaint about Iman, is that he can look at it and say, well, there's clearly something crazy about this guy, but he can't go in and say, how does this strategy perform empirically? He doesn't have the skills to do that. So that's all he can do, is he can bash on the guy, right? And then, by the way, turn around and sell combines to people, which... You want to go around and bring down gurus, and that's great and all, but if you're hawking combines, I'm not gonna. You know, you want the respect and everything. You're not gonna get it when you're hawking combines, and buy my book. Yeah. It's super annoying that he deletes all his messages, isn't it? This is I'm telling you, man, this is all part of an underhanded what do we call it? Like, yeah, he pitched you. Yeah. He pitched you and you didn't even swing. What do you mean? Like, I wanted to be like, oh, let's go through the strategy and actually... What do you think he wanted? I don't know. It could be him. It could be actually him. It could be somebody hired by him to go and push him on social media, right? Because you don't... Well, but why? Why would you? Who cares? That's just weird. To delete the messages. So I have some people that will come into our stream and they will say stuff and then they delete it. But it's because they don't want the record there. Like, they want to tell me something, but then they don't want a permanent record that they told me, per se. Like, or who it was. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, there are some people that have... but to delete it because I didn't like it, that's weird. Yeah. It must be a secret. I do wonder here, though. Wait, did I close the window? Oh, I closed the window. That's weird. It disappeared. There we go. I found it. Oh, okay. He does have an order flow basics. Okay, this never fails me. Let's do that one. Order flow is not the whole... It's totally true, right? Order flow is only a part of this complete breakfast. There's some stuff going on in order flow that I think a lot of retail traders would kind of like think twice about what they're doing if they could actually read the order flow and knew what was going on. Like on, you know, especially on stocks. But, you know, the order flow is only able to predict orders on super tiny short time frames. So it's like really great as a tool to, like, you know, understand the situation, double check yourself so you don't take stupid trades, and maybe help your positioning and everything. But, you know, the edge in it is limited. Gambling is the holy grail. There you go. Yes. Just go and trade the S&P 500. Have a really short target, a really big stop. Try to trade in spots where you know that it's going to be restricted to that kind of range. And yeah. Yeah. Okay, explain this to me. Hold on. Okay. I've got a bunch of problems here, folks. I have so many problems here with this guy already. Okay, number one, why is he standing in front of a green screen? He is not outside there. He's got like these pictures of his house, but or is that supposed to be his house? And like, is that where you're you know, a former institutional trader and that's where you live? Like, not because the guys that I know that traded for institutions, you know, they have like Bentleys and stuff like that. They ain't live in little shack with bricks. Like, but why? Well, even if you traded and left, you were successful and you left, then you're gonna have like millions of dollars. You have millions of dollars. There's one guy I can think of in particular that I know traded for Cargill. He actually has a podcast now. What's the name of their podcast? I have to go and look it up. It's really good to watch. And yeah, he loves to talk about the nice cars. He's one of those guys where it's like, I don't even think he realizes how nice he has it. Okay. But still, why the green screen? That's so bizarre to me. The green screen, and then what he chose for the green screen. And here's the other thing is here, I've got his order flow video on here. Okay, it's just like an empty room with a white wall. Like, listen, like I'm not want to brag. I shouldn't, you know what? I shouldn't go through this. I shouldn't start this one because then it kind of becomes a pooping match, right? Like, look at how nice my room is, and but still, I'm kind of like, yeah, I think this guy is full of shit. I think this guy's full of shit, to be honest with you. All right, I'm watching here. Let's see if he explains his strategy here. Yeah, so he just said in this video, if you're ready to stop being the 99% of traders that lose and ready to start being the elite, then keep watching because we're going to explain it to you here right now, right? So he's doing all of the sales pitch bullshit. Wow, I get somebody having a license doesn't mean anything. So here's the thing that you have to understand, okay? The way that the industry trades is fundamentally different from the way that you have to trade as a retail trader, okay? The way that the industry makes money, especially banks and prime brokers and those kinds of places, right, is by facilitating transactions for other people. That means market making and block trading. Market making being that you are looking at a couple of different things to determine what you think the correct value is for a asset, and then you, based on that, you determine the best bid, best offer that you're willing to give, have some sort of a spread, and you're essentially making money on the spread. And other people trade against you, you will adjust your bid and offer based on the people trading against you, so that in the end, you can, you know, when it moves and it's going to move against you, that kind of gets, you know, all comes out even in the end, because it's going to come back and stuff like that, right? That's market. You can't do that, because to do that, you literally have to have like orders at every price, and you have to be really fast. It's a robot, right? And then the other one is block trading, which is basically somebody else wants to buy or sell a ton of something, and you just execute it for them, and you can execute it more efficiently than the price that you quoted them. And that's block trading, right? And that's like most of trading at banks, right? So you say that he traded as props. So first of all, I doubt it, because the banks don't have any props anymore. Or they have super tiny ones, right? But then the second thing is that then when you get into like proprietary trading, or like better example, now we go into the hedge fund industry, Okay. Day trade, sure, but like more swing trades usually, right? Swing trades or like, you know, they're making bets based on certain market and everything that something's going to happen, and it's not short-term trading, right? So really, like, I think the things that would probably be the most useful for us as traders would be like, what did they do at Renaissance Technology? What did they do at Citadel? Although Citadel's more options, so you might have to be like, if you're going to do options, right? So there's a lot of people that they traded for institutions, like straight up, and they have all the, you know, they have a Series 7 license and all of these things, and they don't know a thing that will help you as a retail trader. There are people like that out there in the industry, because what they were doing had absolutely nothing to do with trying to determine what the market's going to do in the next 30 minutes, right? I discovered a new, okay. They put a huge buy limit, and then they put huge market orders as a sign of a reversal all the time. Yeah, okay, so first of all, that is not a new edge. Oh man, guys, why are you doing this to me today? A knowledge geek. I really don't intend to, like, I'm not trying to be mean to you here, okay? It's just you're saying stuff that triggers me, that makes me be like, gosh, guys, please, really. No, okay, so first of all, you're talking about something that is like the oldest trick in the book, okay? I'd actually say that, like, post-COVID, it doesn't happen very often. I started to see it a little bit this year, but it, you know, used to happen all the time, and then they kind of stopped, and now it's starting to happen again. Spoofing and reversal, right? Then the second thing, though, and I tell you what, because I used to follow that all the time. Like back when I started trading in 2017, 2018, that, you know, that stuff happened all the time, and we'd see it, and it would be like, okay, there'd be like huge bids here trying to push them down through the lows, and then, you know, people would sell into it, and then as soon as they got filled on enough contracts, the big orders would disappear, and eventually we would move up, right? That would happen all the time. And there is a thing where, like, people will spoof because they want to get filled long or whatever the deal is, and they're impatient, right? It's not as common because somebody, who was it? I think it was Morgan Stanley, but I can't remember. Maybe it was JP Morgan. Somebody basically got prosecuted for spoofing, and then the institution stopped doing it. So you didn't see it as much, okay? But back during that time, you know, we'd see that, and so we'd start playing it, and then, you know, what would start happening is, like, you'd see the big offers, and then you'd see a big bid, and then you'd see a big offer, and it would go back and forth like 2 or 3 times before finally going. So, like, that's the flipper sort of a thing, right? That's the way that the flipper would play, is he would, you know, he would kind of condition everybody to want to go and do a thing based on a big order, and then he would flip it around on them, and everybody goes and plays the pass signal, and it shifts on you. So yeah, it's not a reliable signal. It might seem like that to you now, but I guarantee you it is not a reliable signal. As soon as you really start to rely on it, it's gonna flip on you. It's like they stopped the market with those orders. Yeah, but you are talking about, like, just, well, I don't know if now is a very great example, but, like, you know, there's a relatively large offer there, right? So we would expect it to go down, right? Is there a big order? We expect it to go down, but then, like, you might see, like, the 3K iceberg there, and then, like, that's the end of it. And it reverses and goes back higher, right? That's what you're talking about. It's spoofing. Probably is spoofing. Anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was watching this thing. Yeah. So that's interesting. You know, I don't really see the really big orders over here in ES that often. So, I don't know. So far, I think that this guy is just stalling for time. So it's like he needs to say a couple of things to make the video long enough. Maybe you have an eagle eye. Well, honestly, I don't watch ES that closely anymore, so. Okay, so far this is a clickbait video for market profile. Talking about market profile now. What do you think of E2T? Wait, are you talking about, let's see here. EarnToTrade? Where are they? Okay, well, on EarnToTrade, you can, after passing the combine, you can immediately go to live trading, but they also offer sim payouts. Why do they offer sim payouts still? That's right, it did make. So this is so interesting. As I was doing my research about this, so I went and looked at a 100K logical. I don't know what you're talking about with that, but you mean that their account size? So when it started out, it was just, where are they? Top Stepper, right here. Top Step was the only game in town, right? And EarnToTrade were the first ones that came out and said, "Oh, let's copy it, offer slightly different stuff," right? And they sponsored a video. They wanted me to do like push affiliate links and things like that. And then later it came out that the guy that kind of started it, like one of the founders and one of the people that kind of helped them secure the money and everything for it, it was basically involved in a fraudulent binary options exchange in Israel. And after that came out, I was like, okay, we're not doing affiliate links for any of these anymore. So I don't know if a prop firm right now asks me to do a sponsored video, maybe I would, but like I don't think that any of them would want to. Because at this point, you know what I'm going to say is I'm just going to trash the prop firms, right? I'm just going to trash the prop firms. The thing that bothers me the most about the prop firms is that these aren't live trading. Like the vast majority of the people that are getting payouts from these things are not getting payouts from live trading. They're not. And like when you come into here, so Perdia and Next Gen Futures Trader are the only ones that you can only get paid out if you go to a live account. Those are the only two that only offer like payouts on live trading. Every single other one of them is offering essentially live sim, which is your sim trading, but if you make money, they will pay you out. Okay. Which means, by the way, that you're kind of trading against them, right? Like that when you make money and they're paying you, you're taking money out of their profits that they're making from everybody else trying the combines. So how many people do you think actually like really get payouts? That can't really be that much if they're willing to do that, right? If otherwise, there were really people making money off of the trading and off of the payouts, they would move them to live, right? They move you to live at that point because then they are making money off of the live trading, but they don't. It's mostly sim, and that tells you something really important, I think. I don't even remember the video. I mean, I don't even remember the video that we did that was sponsored by, I think that they sponsored that was, I can't recall. Maybe they didn't sponsor a video. Actually, now that I think of it, I don't think that they did sponsor a video. But anyways. I'm not a fan of the prop firms. I'm still watching this video, and so far it's 8 minutes in and he hasn't actually given you any real information. Futures are not CFDs. Yeah. So I'm seeing this thing, like so I know that you can't hear him, but he's already sharing something about market profile that is like deceptive and screws people up. So he's saying like, look over here, here's this distribution, right? Well, you can't really see that they're just trading back and forth here or whatever the deal is. But like, that's not what's going on. What's really going on is the close the close of that session was right there. And so that's where the spot in the volume profile ends up being, because most volume trades at the closing auction. And that's all that's telling you. See? Oh, you're finally checking out. Oh, you missed the earlier stuff, A-Paul. He charges. Well, it's so far, I think he's full of shit. So far at what I've seen, I think he's full of shit. He charges. I'm 12 minutes in. He hasn't said anything valuable or taught anything. And all that I'm seeing is like clickbaiting and, you know, all of the common, what do we call it? Persuasion techniques that people use on YouTube to try and convince you to do something, and not any actual like science, right? Empirical evidence about something. Okay, let me look. I'm gonna power through this. I'm gonna get through it. Probably shouldn't be watching it on my. I should be watching it in an incognito window so that it doesn't start showing me all this shit. New private window. I trade so well that I charge people money to teach them basic technical analysis. You know, like there's his course is $1,500. Oh my gosh! Like straight up, I think I would rather make money from being a quote unquote educator than I would from being a trader. So first of all, if you make money at day trading, and you're really consistently making money, then that's great. I really kind of wonder how realistic it is for a retail trader to really make significant sums in the long term through doing that. Maybe from stocks, I don't know. But if you're really having success from doing it, you're probably swing trading, right? Or you're running like a hedge fund, right? And that is super stressful, right? You're running your own business. You're probably, hiring people. You have to go and solicit funds from people. Like there's right. And then you're doing stuff with their money. And if you don't perform with their money, then they're going to pull it out. Like that's super, super stressful. That is super, super stressful. Yeah. Just teaching retail day traders that don't know anything would be a way better gig. It'd be a way better gig. The only thing is, I'm only going to, I want to teach people stuff, but only if I can prove that it's true. Only if I can prove that it's useful to you. That's why I pull out studies and show you like where we get these things from and what are like some proven behaviors of markets that you might be able. And I'm not even telling you like, oh, you can become a successful day trader from doing this. I'm only saying you're going to understand the market better than other retail traders. That's all I can really offer, because the market is competitive and most likely you are going to fail from day trading, right? But yeah, I would rather do the education. So when you see these educators, they're coming out and they're like, oh, this thing works so well. This is this great trade. You know, all you got to do is learn this and you're going to be a winner. Yeah, they got to be full of shit, because the two kind of contradict, right? Yeah, the original book on market profile is free all over the internet, but pay me for my interpretation of it instead. Well, and not only, well, I don't know, man. Like the funny thing is that the original book on quote unquote market profile, I think kind of was, the trades in that book were kind of proven to be wrong too, right? Yeah, building intuition. There you go. I'm excited to make that video. I'm excited to see how people react to it. But I'm also excited to put the video out. So the video that I'm gonna put out tomorrow, I have like a bunch of like stock images that I generated from AI using Midjourney or whatever. And I'm going to use some music that was AI generated as well. I was kind of skeptical that it would work, but like I got a song out of it that seemed decent enough. I'm like, I think I'll put that in. My most popular video ever had music in it. And I'm kind of wonder, was it really because of the music? Probably not, but might as well put some music in it anyways. And it's a little bit different of a video because it's a little bit more political, let's say. It's a little bit more political. I'm excited to see how people react to that video. But anyways, why did I bring that up? I don't know. Back when I thought day trading was $1 billion endeavor, I was susceptible to all the same stuff. Thankfully, I never paid for courses though. I mean, that's why I kind of feel like that the number one thing that retail traders should be taught is that the market is competitive and that trading on an edge changes the market and will potentially erase the edge. Once you truly understand that, you don't fall for all of that BS. Because anytime that you see somebody sharing a quote-unquote strategy, or anytime that you see a clickbait, because so far this guy hasn't shared a strategy. So far he's just saying market profile is a useful tool. And that's all he's saying. He hasn't shown me a trade with it yet, right? But you see those thumbnails and you just won't even be interested in them because you know that anybody that's saying that sort of stuff is probably, you know, either the strategy doesn't actually work or they're not actually going to show you a strategy in the video. I kind of suspect that this one's going to be the latter, right? That he's not actually going to show us a strategy. Yeah, I have a couple indicators. I bought a couple of indicators I use anymore, but that's it. I think it's so weird that retail traders are willing to spend a lot of money on indicator suites. That, like, my indicator suite's $100, right? But there's people selling indicator suites out there for like $5,000-$10,000 sometimes. And they'll spend money on trading courses, but they're not willing to spend money on like a news squawk or willing to spend money on research. Like, so weird. Paid $60 for value count. Well, that doesn't sound too bad. Wait, what do those do? Of your indicators, which of them need level 2 data? I'd say about half of them. I don't know. So if you go to the website and there's like detailed documentation and downloads, the downloads page also has a link to the detailed documentation, and I go through every indicator and what they do, and it should be pretty clear from that which ones are about using level 2. What do you think about market profile? Okay, so I have a video. Let me pull out. I have a video about this. Your channel. It's actually a relatively recent one. Here we go. Improving volume profile. Yeah. So I'm just going to link you to it so you can watch it, because I thought I did a good job of explaining. So volume profile is kind of picking up on something in the market that's real, but because people don't really understand what causes it, they misinterpret what it's actually doing. When you understand what kind of causes it, you think about it very, very differently. Because most people think that, you know, this area that the most of the volume traded at means something significant and about what people think about value and all of it, but it actually doesn't. So anyways, you watch that video. It's a good video. I really was happy with that one. Okay, when you started out in trading, knowing nothing about trading, did you used to watch? No. Well, so first of all, Mr. Legit, when I started trading in late 2016, early 2017, when I first trading futures at least, because I had been watching the market since 2008. Okay. There was nobody doing this on YouTube. There was nobody at all. You would never know it from my subscriber account, but I was one of the first people on YouTube doing anything with markets. Maybe if I had decided to go full bore into stocks or something like that, we'd have a larger channel because, you know, that would garner more clicks. But then we wouldn't have learned all of the super advanced stuff that we know. So probably better we learned all the advanced stuff, and maybe someday we will expand into that. I do want to talk more about like stocks and portfolio level strategies and things like that, things of that nature. So yeah, nobody else was doing it. But number two thing is that early on, I read like the technical analysis of stock trends. It's the book, and I learned all the technical analysis, and I watched a lot of I watched charts for a really long time. I actually had a decent amount of success from doing that stuff, right? But as time went along, I became more and more just watching the market and making decisions about what I thought the market was going to do based on the information rather than the technicals, to be honest with you. But then I met traders at the bank, and they explained how they traded, and they told me a couple of things. They basically knew all of this stuff that I'm teaching you guys about order flow, but like they didn't have enough time to explain it to me, right? So they just kind of gave me the main takeaways. The market is competitive. You trade a signal, it tends to reduce the signal, all of these sorts of things. And so when I went off on my own, I had already been inoculated, essentially, right? It was like the vaccine. So I knew when you know, 2018, 2019, 2020 came along, and I was still kind of like really struggling and confused about certain things, you know, but anywhere that I would look, I would just see all of those things that I knew were wrong, essentially. And I just say, you know, ignored all of this stuff. And I knew what to look for. I knew empirical evidence, because I knew that the people at the bank, that they were reading studies and stuff like that. So yeah. I started in 2009, and YouTube educators weren't a thing. I was more into printing PDFs about indicators and strategies and putting them into binders. Oh, geez. And buying books on Elliott Wave and Tech. Yeah, there you go. Do you think there is some people behind stop loss hunts? Why price moves to the big orders? So, kind of no. Yes, no. So, here's the thing. If I come in here and I want to move the market down, right? I could sell a bunch of contracts, but maybe the market does move. Well, generally speaking, if I sell a bunch of contracts, the market will move down, right? So then I want to take profits. Well, when I buy all of the contracts, that's going to move the market up. And the problem is that the market tends to, there's less liquidity behind you because you would just move through that area. So your second set of orders end up having more impact. And so that is, generally speaking, a net negative trade. So how are you going to pull that? How are you going to pull that? Doesn't work. But here's what the market makers will do. The market makers, they'll be sitting there with their bids, right? And then some guy comes in and trades through it, and you get filled. So now you have all of this inventory long. What do you do about it? Well, if the flows continue to be persistent, then what you do is you puke it. You puke it, and you take the loss then and there as quickly as possible, and only start to market make on the offer and avoid taking bids, essentially, right? But the other thing that you could do is if it's really a temporary flow, and that was it. Some guy was selling, he's done selling, that's it. Okay, you have inventory long. Be a little bit less aggressive on your offers. Like you want some of your offers to get filled, but you might let it tick up a tick or two first before you start filling orders, right? So then anybody that came in that was like, oh, there's momentum, etc., and they all took positions short down here. Yeah, it moves up 2 ticks, whatever. They're going to start bailing into you, and then you reduce your inventory there. So what they're doing is they're making the liquidity a little bit lighter on one side than on the other side, right? So you see this, it's like, was really hard for them to push down, and lots of orders were filled and everything. And then when it comes back up on like 500 contracts or less, and you're like, why is it so easy for them to pop back up? Well, part of it is because you just traded through that area. But part of it is because the market makers kind of let it come back up because they need that in order to get rid of their inventory at a profitable price. So most retail traders seem to think that there's some pattern and that they use to trick you and all. It's not that. It's really like, what it really is if there's a big buyer or seller, the market's probably going to trend. And if there's not, then the market's generally going to mean revert. The market makers, they make money when it's mean reverting, and they don't do as well or straight up lose money when it's trending, right? So I know this pattern and I think it's going to mean revert doesn't work, because then you get the trend day and you get slaughtered. That's why when you go wait for a trend day and then go on Reddit and read all of the comments on Reddit, and you'll see all the retail traders getting destroyed. And it's funny. So the smart money concepts kind of thing is very flawed. Very flawed. Go ahead and find a long. Well, if you forced me to take a trade today, and granted, it's such a light day and Columbus Day and everything, it's really not worth the risk. But I would bet that the chances are that if I were to take a long in here, maybe I could get filled at 24. Maybe it might break out a little bit. But could I get 24 to 25 half, 26? Probably. That's the trade that I would take if you forced me to take a trade. But the risk reward on it is really not worth it, is it? I don't know. It's what's the worst that could happen if it was equal risk reward? So I caught 24 and we went 1, 2, 3 this way. So then 1, 2, 3 this way. It seems like an okay trade. But I still wouldn't take it. All right, today, one of those days. Well, if it was so I think what would be ideal connections. Sorry, you only want the best trades. Yeah, to be honest with you, I very much would prefer to take a trade on something that I think is going to trend. Because here's the thing. If I think that it's going to mean revert, and that there's not a lot of activity and that the market maker is in control. Well, if we all think that the market maker is going to lift offers and makes it come back up there and everything, us trading it is going to feel the market maker in a, short. So, right. Again, it's like rock, paper, scissors. It's like last time they did rock, so we should do paper this time, right? But then they know that we're going to do paper, so they do scissors, and then it just goes around in circles about what they're actually going to do. And like the reality is that if you keep playing that game long enough, it's just random, right? So it's not really a worthwhile trade. Whereas if it's going to be trending, if I think that there's a big institution out there, and I know how their strategy works, and I know that they're going to need to buy it today, and that there's going to be an imbalance, that's a situation where I have an actual edge. Like, I can predict that that's going to happen, and I can get good winners out of those as well, instead of trying to play this, you know, kind of random game with the market maker. Right? Because you're going to play that game, you're just always going to lose because the market maker's got the best spot in the queues. So I've never had success with that game. So this will be a great test, right? Let's just remember it was at 24, right? Do they reverse here, or do they keep trading down? And that's almost all just based on that we kind of been going sideways, down this morning and going sideways. Looks, it's a super quiet market today, though. I tell you what, man, watching this guy's videos is like making me cringe so hard, because he's talking about volume profile here, but then he's saying like, we move down and we move down and we move down, and so all these people have all of this short inventory, and so it comes back up hard because that's all of those people unwinding their shorts. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the market profile, though? Like, so he's saying, oh, you should use market profile, but then he's telling you something that has nothing to do with market profile. Right? Isn't it funny? I just... Whoa, wait, I didn't see Nancy's comment there. I am from Marketer. They told to do this. But you got kicked out? Oh, man. Wait. So was it like one of those things? Was it one of those things where it's like, you watch the YouTube videos, you're in, maybe you paid in, and then they're like, hey, you know, if you go around and you do all of these things and then you show that you did these things, we'll pay you? And there's like maybe a Discord and they tell you where to go and what to do and how to do it and all that sort of stuff. Because I want to know how these things work. Because I know that they're like out there theoretically, but I've never met any. You see one, oh, so was it like you were going to post the link and they had to click, like, how do they know that you got a referral? $100 for a referral? What? Oh man, I got to get in on that scam. Good grief. You got kicked out. So does that mean you did such a poor job that you... Oh, I'm just messing with you, dude. Oh. I think it's so funny, especially like on the Discord, because we get so much spam on the Discord and everything, and everybody just like, nobody falls for it. Every time that one of those comes through, I just get like tons of PMs because everybody knows what's going on. All of the new people, that is. don't, if you get spam private messages on Discord, don't message me. Just report it to Discord. Because there's nothing I can do about it other than ban them, and they're already banned. Like, my robot will detect them immediately and ban them. Oh, man. It's all marketing nonsense. Again, that's the thing, is I inoculate you, right? You come on here and you watch a couple of my videos and you're immediately gonna know, okay, here are the things to look for. I should make a video that is like, you know, the red flags of YouTube influencers, right? So like, no, red flag number 1, I think, is appeals to authority. They say, you should listen to me because I have these authoritative credentials. I traded for a bank. I did this and that. Right? I don't know why I've never made this particular video, but like, whatever. Let's put it on the list. Where's the list? Here's the list. That's not the list. That's not the list. I can quit that buffer too. Oh, here we go. Videos, video topics, or was it planned videos? I think that this video topics ones, I should just delete. Planned videos. We'll do it after. Let's do that before how much to trade. Influencer red flags. I think I actually do have a video that's kind of like that, but it's not like the guru angle of it. Have like a wow. You made some money from it then, huh? Well, you're probably the worst place to try and get commissions, dude. Because my guy's essentially like, you know what's kind of funny about it? So tell me if I'm wrong about this, Susie. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's not just that it's like I come in and I say, look, the market's competitive, and so you know that if somebody's on YouTube spreading it everywhere, that they're either outright scamming you or they're just really naive, right? I don't think it's just that. I think that the people that really just want to have it be given to them and have it easy, they all see that and they're driven away. They don't, you know, well, either I'm going to keep looking for the easy street or I'm just going to give up on trading altogether, right? And so the people that stick around tend to be the kind of person that's like, they want to do it themselves anyways. It's like, maybe there is something out there that I could read and follow and everything, and I could make money from it and everything, but I'm not even going to bother looking because I want to do it myself. I want to figure it out myself. And I think that those are the type of people that tend to stick around. Because even when I tell people here, you know, Uzi says I agree. Yeah. Because something that I've noticed is that even when I tell my audience like an edge or like not an edge, let's say, but an empirical property of markets, like I get this kind of weird skepticism a lot of the time from my own audience. It's like, well, they're really gonna double check it and see all of these sorts of things, right? 3 to 4 years of girl questing and a decade of doing it. I'm like, there you go. You get people that just want to do it on their own. Okay. Yeah, influencer red flags. Wait, should we, while I'm thinking about it, there's something, I wish that this kind of, so if I want to like create a file in a certain spot with a certain name, it's kind of, okay. Scripts. So we're going to go HX scripts / influencer red flags. Okay. Primarily appeals to their own authority. Clickbait titles. Well, now you're just brown nosing me, Nancy. So I have another theory that Nancy is actually, I mean, Nancy's a female name, but my bet is that Nancy is a man, and that he uses the name Nancy because he finds that more people are likely to react to him and do things if they think that he's a girl. My guess. It's my guess. He said no, but I didn't. You can't just say yes or no because I say so many different things that I'm usually not exactly sure what you're saying yes. Oh, you are a girl, just marketing? Okay, you say so. You just say so. I find when I'm banning people from Discord that the people that don't try and impersonate me, that they tend to have female names. And it's like, why are there so many girls doing marketing in a market that is like 99.99% male? Okay, let's hear. What else besides clickbait titles did I say? Clickbait. When it was earlier, I wrote 3 things up on my screen, and I don't remember what it was. When a girl says, what girl says, bri. Actually, lots of Gen Z girls say that now, unironically. my stepdaughters say that all the time, but always in an ironic fashion. I don't know. Nancy didn't seem like she was saying it in an ironic fashion, though. Okay, another red flag, testimonials. So there are like straight up rules, the FCC, that like using a testimonial is illegal if that testimonial is not reflective of your average customer's performance. So you can't go in and you know, have 100 customers and 99 of them lose money, and then one of them makes money, and go and say, hey, you know, here's a testimonial from this one guy that made money, because that gives a false impression about what the overall performance of your trainees are doing. So anybody that has testimonials out is a big red flag. And I've had more than one occasion now where other YouTube channel or influencer was like, hey, let's do something, or do an interview or something like that. And I go and look at their stuff and they have testimonials like that on their website. And I say, nope, not interested. It's specifically testimonials about performance. Just say testimonials about performance specifically. Like if somebody testimonial and they say, oh, Seth's YouTube channel is so great. I really enjoy coming in there every morning, the live stream, same group of guys, and I really learned a lot about the empirical properties of markets from watching his YouTube channel, right? I could have a testimonial like that, and that would be okay, because that is the average experience of my audience, right? Is got a great chat, same group of people every day, and I teach you in proven empirical stuff about markets, right? But if they were to come in and say, oh, you should follow Seth because following his strategies is going to make you so much money, that would probably run afoul of the FTC rules. claiming performance when we don't really know what the average performance of my viewers are, but I'm going to guess that most people still lose money. Also, people who never trade live. Well, if you know, you're really talking about like red flags, you know, that kind of person is always going to tell you that they're trading live even when they're not, right? Okay, so here's the other big red flag is big trades. So such influencers like this are always trying to show that that they took a huge trade. So they're trying to play into those biases again. Time to go on ICT. There you go. That's ICT channels. That would probably be a good market for you. Yes. That was so funny. Now I want to go back. Wait. And here we are. Here's our live stream. What did I say? This is why it's so great to have a recording of everything that we do. Oh, they make it out to be easy. Easy. Think of what other red flags we have, but how much time they spend on marketing. Anyways, where'd we go? I'm still watching this. See how long it takes me to watch a 26-minute video at double speed when I keep pausing it and talking. Nancy says he thinks the concepts they teach there is crap. That's funny. So what you're saying is that YouTube has essentially generated its own kind of like hype echo chamber. So now there's all of these people that will continue to promote and push those ideas simply because they know that they can like kind of jump on that bandwagon. Keeping it like even though I think that people have kind of like turned on ICT and I think that the terms and all of the marketing and everything that it did around it will never die. And Steffa says, since NinjaTrader updated their platform to a web version, I can no longer... Well, but you know that you can go and download there's an older version though, right? Like, I forget what's the version... What's the version here? There is NinjaTrader version 8, and there's two branches. There's version 8.1, which is the new one that forces you to log in through their web credentials, and everything is done through their credentials. And then there's 8.0.28. If you go to that 0.28 one, that still lets you do it the same way. And they've been making like bug fixes on that one. On the 0 branch, they've been making bug fixes on it. So I don't know how long we'll be able to use that one before, but for now it works. Trade in the style. Right. Anyways. Well, we're still at 24. We took a little bit of heat. Yeah, but you're not getting data? Well. What you should really do, Nancy, is you should like document all of this. You know, show all of the things that you're doing and all of the secret marketing Discord channels and everything. And then we can make a YouTube channel about, or a YouTube video about that. how marketers conspire against retail traders. I don't even know why I'm trying to finish this guy's video, because like he pulls out market profile and then he's basically talking about, oh, everybody got short and then the shorts had to cover it. And I'm like, what does the volume profile tell you that? It's so brain dead. It's super sad that a guy like this has almost 50,000 subscribers. Does the order flow, well, so to get order flow data, it's like a monthly fee. So like if you're getting it from Rhythmic or CQG, it's something like $30 a month. And that's like the exchange charges that. So they have to pass that down to the customer. And then usually they also have this fee that's like, if you didn't take any trades that month, then there's an additional fee. But that fee can go away if you traded enough and paid enough in commissions. Right. But then there's this other thing, which is like with NinjaTrader. Basically, they've switched over to, they only want you to use NinjaTrader with NinjaTrader brokerage, right? So you can be grandfathered in, but otherwise they make it kind of difficult for you. And for me, like my developer license that I have doesn't let me trade Rhythmic off of the off brokerage. So and that's why I use a free license. Well, it was always like, so if you go to NinjaTrader brokerage, you're getting data from Kinetic, right? CQG Kinetic. Or not Kinetic, Continuum. Kinetic is something different. I use Rhythmic. So the thing I like, two things that I like about Rhythmic, and I have a video about this comparing Rhythmic and CQG if you really want to get into all the details. But on Rhythmic, I can see multiple levels of volume profile, so I can see the volume profile, you know, as far out as I want to. And then the other advantage is that it comes with, you can use Rhythmic Trader Pro, and Rhythmic Trader Pro is written in C#, and so that can then pass. I'll just pop it over here really quick, but there's not really anything to see on the window. But anyways, it can then pass it to any C# application. So NinjaTrader can connect to it and Jigsaw can connect to it. So what I do is I connect in Rhythmic Trader Pro, and then Jigsaw and NinjaTrader connect to that. Instead of NinjaTrader connecting and then using the bridge to connect Jigsaw with it. I always hated doing that because there are some features of Jigsaw that don't work that way. And the NinjaTrader can crash. So I still have NinjaTrader crash on me at least once a quarter, I'd say. Now you don't have any money to create a $500 account? Sorry, man. Just watch my screen. That's kind of part of what we're here for, right? It's like, if you're just going to trade sim and you're going to trade the treasuries, then why not just... Do you have a video? No, but basically the gist of it is when you start Rhythmic Trader Pro, there's a little checkbox that says plugin mode. And then when you're setting up your credentials for NinjaTrader or Jigsaw, you have to also make sure that it's doing plugin mode, and that's it. And make sure that Rhythmic Trader Pro is up first. Okay, I finished the video. There wasn't anything else interesting in it. Oh, you sent... Oh, you know what? I remember this guy's... Uzi sent me a link to like what those value quote-unquote candles did. And it's from Rancho Dinero, and I remembered that website because John Bottomley had some of his stuff, I think. All right, it shows you the bar's range, value area, and point of control for each bar. Oh, I have one that... Oh, I remember. Oh, okay, I remember this now. Yes, I made one that did that. Yes. Okay, it's funny. Nah. Rancho Dinero. I don't know. What he's got just is kind of like the standard order flow stuff, to be honest with you. Wait, how much is he? Wait. He charged you $60 for that? Man. Because I have an indicator that literally does the same thing. I kind of like the way that mine does it. And... Frankly, that's the sort of thing that I would be like, just put that one in the free The free indicators, like, not that complicated. It's not until it gets to like having to draw things or like really convoluted logic that I'm like, okay, this is like a paid indicator. This is not easy to do. You know what's funny? I should probably spruce this one up. It is another one that's way down on the list though, but I have something called pivots. So like there's swing charts, and that's based on like when there's a pullback of a certain amount, then it says that there was a pivot, but or it says that there was a swing. But for pivots, we were qualifying it as a close above the previous bar's high or a close below the previous bar's low, and that was what we qualified as a turn. And I had all sorts of cool things built for that. And I'm like, oh, we should make a swing version of it. It does all of the cool things that we did in pivots, but it does it for swing. And it had a lot of features. It had a lot of features that were really, really cool. And I don't really sell it. But it's kind of like, because I don't use it, I don't think that it has any use. But all of those price action swing people, yeah, they would love it. It's the isn't that the funniest? Isn't that the dumbest thing? Is that I feel like I have the best NinjaTrader indicator for swing trading, price action traders. I have like the best indicator for price action traders, and I just ignore it. I could probably put that up, sell it for $500 a pop. Set up one of these marketing schemes where, you know, people get paid $100 for every referral that they get. Yeah. Oh wait, I should hire someone else to do it, right? Because it makes somebody else be a guru. They sell my indicator. And oh, I would never do that. I would never do that, but it would be funny. Oh, by the way, didn't we said 24 to 25 half, right? Because we said 3 ticks and we would be filled. And they never traded. 1, 2, 3. Well, they touched 23, but they didn't clear 23. So technically the trade worked. But there was a little bit more excursion against us that we wouldn't have liked, right? So, I don't know. Make from that what it is. I feel like that kind of just displays exactly why I hate those kinds of setups. Is that like you can tell in a situation where it's likely to like mean revert at some point because there's really nothing happening in the market. But it always kind of does it in a way that you don't expect. Larry Fink was a bond trader? I think so, yeah. Anyways. No coding today. Was I supposed to be coding something? What were we doing on Friday? Oh, that's right. We were doing a strategy, weren't we? Oh, I totally forgot about that. See, this is how this happens, guys. It's like I'll write something and we'll be working on it on a Friday, and then the weekend comes along and I completely forget about it and never touch it again. I had done something interesting with it, I think. What did I do? I don't remember. I had changed something. Yeah. So my recollection was, let's see here. I go to optimization graph, net profits. No, what did I optimize against then? Maybe I need to run it again in order for it to show. No. Oh, they're all using the same reward factor and stop. There's the seed. Oh, that's right. Okay. So the last thing that I had done was I decided to take the seed, change my, so I had a variable before that was just like, let's just use this variable to make it run 100 times, right? What I changed was I changed that into a seed, and that gets passed into the random number generator. So I will run it one time with without the double down, and one time with the double down, in order to determine whether it makes a difference. And in order for me to see, I have to be doing it with it taking like the same trades and the same directions and everything like that. So using the same number generator essentially. And once I did that, then I started to get the statistics that I was expecting to see, where like there's these ones that they're showing, decent percentages and things like that, because you're doubling down increases your win rate essentially. Here you go. Right, so it's really hard to kind of see, but here are the ones where we use the double down. And here are the ones where we don't use the double down. And the variance on these is actually wider, and the potential profit is actually wider, essentially. How come over here on performance, this is giving me ones? That's super weird. There's still something wrong where like the total net profit that I'm getting is not showing up correctly. So I've got something screwed up there, but I think it generally is showing me what we expect to see. Well, I think that I would like to do some. So I've been trying to get a hold of. So I read this book, Making Sense of Chaos, and I've been trying to get a hold of Dwayne, but I don't think he checks his LinkedIn messages. So I got to go back through today and try and find a different way to, like if there's an email or something, a different way to try and get a hold of him. Ryan the Great, have you been here? You've been here before. I recognize that name. Bitcoin has been up big today, hasn't it? Yeah, but the people that I want to try and book are going to be people that are like doing the research, right? So that's who I want to try and get on here. I'm browsing Reddit over here and I just got clickbaited. Unpopular opinion, these new fans are bandwagoners from r/Utah Hockey. I've been watching Utah Hockey Club from the very beginning, through their tough times from their very first game in the NHL. It seems like it was just last week. Now we have all of these new bandwagoners who only became fans after we started winning all of our games, which is basically all fans because they've won every game that they've played in. Of course, there was like the preseason. We don't count those, but. And frankly, you people make me sick. Where were you when Utah was struggling? Oh man, dude, I've watched every hockey game so far, and it is magical. These games have been magical. Won all three. We're gonna lose at some point. I mean, they're not gonna keep the streak. At some point, teams are gonna catch on to what they're doing and you know, specifically guard against it, and then I think Utah's gonna have a hard time winning. But for now, it's just like the best start to a hockey club you ever could possibly have. Oh man, so here's the thing on Reddit about the video footage of Planned Parenthood selling baby parts, and then they're like, no, those people were prosecuted. But then there was that was not the full story, because after they were prosecuted, I think that they pushed back on those prosecutions and won. So now I'm trying to do some web search about this. This is some fuckery, dude. Check this out. So like, I remember the Hot Air having a story about the prosecutions of the people that did the Planned Parenthood's video. I'm trying to remember what that was. So I came in here and I said site : space, and then the website that I wanted to search. And despite that, it's giving me all a bunch of stuff from Planned Parenthood and left-wing rags instead of searching the website that I want. Look at that. What the fuck? If I come here and I type Trump, everything is from Hot Air. Holy fuck. Dude. Wait, what? I'm gonna show you again, okay? So if I come here and Google, and you type site : and then the website. In this case, I want to search for Hot Air. And then I search for Hot Air Trump. All of the results that I get back are basically... Oh, actually, no, it's not. Only a little bit. How come it's not? Am I not using it right? Type site : in front of the website name or domain. Add a space after the website name and type your search term. What if I just searched for something really innocuous like Utah? No, why is it not working? Maybe I don't need the HTTP in front of it. Weird. Google just is like less and less useful, man. They must have done something to that feature, dude. Mm-hmm. 2015. It's been a little more recent than that. Wait, can I sort it a different way? Sort by date weighted. What is this? Okay, so let's search for this guy's name. I don't know if that's enough to really make a dent in that Reddit thread, but I'm going to use that. Wonder what happens if I search for this. There's a Wikipedia article on here. This Wikipedia article is out of date. Okay. They tried him on 9 counts and merit on 8 in July of 2020, but then it doesn't say what happened. Oh boy. Are you sending me? You come in to do guerrilla marketing? Somebody else come in to do guerrilla marketing on my live stream again? Just listening to a YouTube of this guy Harry Dent, and he's old school. He says we're in a bubble. Oh, okay. I don't. So whenever I see people talking about that we're in a bubble and all of this sort of stuff, that's another one of those things that like immediately I tune out because they're using sensationalism to try and sell themselves, essentially, right? You're always going to find somebody trying to convince you that the world is about to end, because that's like one of the best ways to get people's attention, right? Oh, wow. Okay, so as of August 9th, they were still awaiting trial. Wow, it took me a really long time to find that. The whole time I was looking for that one piece of information. That's curious that they're talking about that all of a sudden. Because it was Kamala Harris's campaign that was prosecuting the guy. Or not campaign, but Kamala Harris's office. So, Oh, sorry, I missed Ryan's other question. Do you think TLT is bullish? I took a long, but now I'm just getting that position stopped in profits, so I think it's a Harvey Dent guy is stupid. well, I like it depends on your time frame, right? If we were to take kind of like the super high level momentum kind of approach to it, then it's probably still a buy. Probably. But I mean, good grief. Okay. You're going to have nasty drawdowns if you're really trying, like, you know, like if you buy this here, 26. Let's say you bought it at 112. 112 just to keep everything even, and you held it for 5 to 10 years. I think there's a pretty good chance that during that 5 to 10 years, you will have an opportunity to take profits on it big time. But who knows how far back it can come on you. So it depends on how long you can hold it. Right? What are you talking about, Verix? That young kid from City that was saying he was the biggest trader a couple of months back? Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know what you're talking about, but I would say more broadly that yes, anytime that you see an influencer in the trading space focusing primarily on their quote unquote credentials to give them authority, that they're probably full of crap, because what the guys at the institutions do is completely different from what we do. And like, I suppose if you're swing trading and you're taking strategies that came from like a hedge fund, that's a different thing. Okay. But like strategies that came from market makers and banks, you're not going to be able to actually use those. They have advantages that regular retail investor doesn't have. Really, if somebody wants authority, they should point to the market as their authority, right? I have authority because I'm teaching you things about the markets that I can prove using empirical evidence that the markets do. The impact of a large meta order of size Q tends to follow a square root law with respect to the size of the order. With the following formula, Y omega times the square root of Q over V, Q is the size of the order, V is the volume executed during that time, and omega is the average volatility. And Y is the scalar specific to that instrument that you calculate. You can prove that happens. Nobody else is teaching about that. Don't know why, but it's an empirical property of markets. Can you make use of it to your advantage? Maybe, maybe not. That's where the authority comes from. The market, right? Not, oh, I worked at, because what I could do is I could say, oh, well, I worked for Goldman Sachs for 6 years. Right? I bet you that there'd be a lot of people that would be more interested to listen to what I have to say if I started out with that, right? Oh, I work for Goldman Sachs in technology, but whatever. It's still Goldman Sachs, right? It's a logical fallacy. What matters? Empirical evidence. Okay. Anything else that they tell you? Here's this strategy. It totally works. I've made so much money. It's so easy. Have all of these people they're making money from anything that you see like that, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. Don't fall for it. The only thing that should interest you in the trading space is empirical evidence. Like this one, well, I don't have it open anymore, but on Reddit, somebody said, oh, here is a strategy, so I backtested it. Okay, that's empirical evidence. There's some issues with the guy's backtest, but it does look like it's a profitable swing strategy. It does look like it. I don't know how good it is compared to alternatives, but it looks like it does work. Empirical. Anyways, it's time for me to get going, guys. We had some interesting conversations today. I used to clean the floor at Goldman's. I have a 90% strategy for an The whole thing is, I tell you what, man, I feel like that as time goes on, YouTube is becoming less and less the platform that it started with. And I'm really concerned that at some point it will really turn into a wasteland. I don't get as many interesting videos on YouTube anymore. I really don't, for some reason. It's like, it's really changed. And the way that YouTube has gone in the trading space in particular is horrific. It really is, just leads people down rabbit holes where they're going to lose money. It really does, and it's sad to watch. And the people that I think, are actually authoritative, that are actually worth listening to, that, YouTube doesn't care about. They don't have any success. It's super wild. All right, so with that, I am going to leave you. I will see you tomorrow. We should be posting that video tomorrow and get working on these other videos, and we should have a good bit of work ahead of me today that I'm excited to get into. So I got to get to it because I've gotten on some interviews. I'm getting to like third interview. So that doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to get a job or anything, but like I could. So this might be the last week of this, right? And then, so I want to make sure I get as much done as I can. Stay excellent, team.